Hi, welcome to Richard Cooper English Teaching. My name is Richard Cooper, and today we're going to look at how we speak quite negatively about things at an advanced level for English. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. If you would like to follow us on Facebook and see other videos and posts that I do, have a look in the comments section, in the info section underneath, and you can click there on the link to my Facebook page. And if you want to work with me, my website link is also in that information, so you can find out information there about what I offer and how we can work together. So primarily I work with people of a higher level English, so B1 and upwards. If you don't know what level you are, you can always speak to me and we can work out if it will be right for us to work together. But generally, I don't work with very low level beginners. It's usually high level and also English for business, but I'm open to anything. So, but generally, if you have a basic, I already have some of the basics there. And then what I offer is looking at some of the higher level English that we can move up from B1 to B2 and C1. So today we're going to look at some of the important aspects of C1 English, and that involves phrasal verbs. So what is a phrasal verb? Another word for a phrasal verb is a multi-word verb. What does that mean? So if I say instead of I left the house this morning, if I say I set off from the house this morning, set off is a phrasal verb. 2 words, set off. I set off this morning to work. Instead of I left. You see, it's more complex. So we often have a phrasal verb instead of a more simple word or a more complicated word. So for example, I departed. Yeah, we wouldn't say this, but it's more formal. We might see this at the airport. Departures, the departures lounge. A flight departs. The flight departs at 6. Okay, that's the more formal word. The more informal word would be the plane leaves at 6. And what we're looking at today is the phrasal verb, the plane takes off at 6. And this is an example of a phrasal verb. And there are, at this level, at C1, what we're looking to do, also B2 to C1, but above B1, we're looking to use more phrasal verbs because it's more sophisticated, more complex, higher level English. So, for example, the plane takes off, the plane touches down instead of arrives. It touches down at its destination. The plane touches down. The plane takes off. We in the morning set off from the house, and then in the evening we come back home. So there are many examples of using phrasal verbs, and I put up in the group today an example of telling a story using lots of phrasal verbs, and then the task is to identify all the different phrasal verbs in the text, to read the text and to find, I think the task I set was to find 8 phrasal verbs. But coming back to our theme today is going to be about moaning. What is moaning? Or another synonym, whinging, or complaining, or more generally, we could say speaking negatively about things, usually about ourselves or our emotions. And I have an example here. This is something I did up to look at here, which I've named here vocabulary C1 plus, moaning and overworked. If we are overworked, we might start moaning, complaining, speaking negatively about our work. So moaning is a bit like saying, like the negative tone is this, everything's wrong, nothing's going right, I really don't like this. Why can't they do it differently? Yeah. This is an example of moaning. Another word for this is whinging, but whinging is a bit higher. The tone is a bit higher. So moaning is a bit like whinging is like petty, superficial, less serious. So we've got some examples here of how we might express this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. It's been a hard week. I've really had enough. So we got 2 good examples of the present perfect here. It's been. I've had a hard day, using present perfect. I've had. It's been. I've had a hard day. It's been a hard week. I've really had enough. And then a good example here of using going to. I really don't know how I'm going to get through the week. So we've got another example here, phrasal verb, get through. I'm really snowed under. There's lots of snow on. My work is like snow and there's a lot of snow on me. I'm really snowed under. Phrasal verb snowed and under, like get and through. Like stress, I'm really stressed. But here we add out. I'm really stressed out. I can't emphasize enough how much I need a break. And then we have responses. I think you need to stop whinging. I think you need to stop moaning. You should chill out, chill out. You should chill out a bit. You should take it easy. You should calm down. Why don't you try looking at this from a different perspective? Sleep on it. You'll feel better in the morning. So those are examples of, and if we remember all these phrasal verbs and we think of the more complicated word for them. So I'm really stressed out. The more formal way would be to say, I feel nervous. I have a level of anxiety. I am depressed. I don't feel very resilient to what is happening to me at the moment. So you see, these are the more formal words that normally in everyday speech we say, I'm stressed out, or you need to calm down. you need to, the more formal way would be to say, you need to relax, you need to recuperate, you need to